Is facing a rise in human trafficking, with criminal syndicates exploiting children for forced labor, sexual exploitation, and drug trafficking. According to experts, porous borders, social media, grooming, and poverty are the major factors. And now from on this, we're joined by Bianca van Swaggen. She is a criminologist and national coordinator for Missing Children, South Africa. She joins us live from Cape Town, South Africa. Bianca, many thanks for joining us. We appreciate you for doing this with us. Let's just tell us a bit about how serious this issue is, and also how social media plays in all of this factor.
Good afternoon, thank you. Yes, child trafficking, human trafficking has escalated tremendously, especially after COVID and lockdown, due to various reasons. We've got financial hardship, poverty, job loss. There's so many contributing factors, and human trafficking itself is a low-risk, high-reward crime. So that is also what is driving the increasing number of human trafficking and child trafficking. Is the demand. Not doesn't stop, unfortunately, we will never see child and human trafficking stop.
Right. We're looking at the contributing factors here: porous borders, social media, grooming, as well as poverty as well. But porous borders, tell us about that.
Yes, so South Africa is seen as a transit, import and export destination for human trafficking. That meaning we've got our own South Africans being used within our country. We've got victims that are taken out of our country, exploited to other countries, and then we've also got victims being brought into our country. Quite recently, we have seen 90 Ethiopian men that were rescued in Gauteng in South Africa that was actually trafficked into our country. So cross-border trafficking is definitely happening, depending on what the situation is and what the victim will be used for, where the destination of that victim will be.
And this is very interesting. Now you're saying, men as well, so male victims, adult male, and what exactly do they go into? Is this just sex trafficking, or is this just more mining, illegal mining? Where do they always fall in this category?
They are just as vulnerable to fall victim to human trafficking as girls are. Young boys would tend to actually be used as sex slaves or for forced labor. Young men, young adult men, yes, they would be used for forced labor into the mining industry, into the farm industry, domestic servitude. Sometimes we also get men that have been taken as victim for that. So men are just as vulnerable as women for human trafficking.
Right. And what measures has South Africa then taken to sort of curb the increase in the numbers of trafficked humans?
Sorry, just repeat that.
I was asking about measures as the South African government is taking, and also yourself as well and your organization, what you're doing to curb the numbers.
Yes, so as an organization, we spread the awareness, we create the awareness, we help with the cases itself of trafficking victims. Within our police system and law enforcement, we've got specialized units specifically working on human trafficking cases. So they are assigned to the trafficking cases itself. They've got no other cases that they look at. We try to combat the problem as much as possible, but we also rely on our communities to report any suspicious matters that they know of, that they see. If they know of something that's happening in their communities regarding human trafficking, to please report it so action can be taken. It's very important for us to know what's going on in our communities, to actually intervene and combat the problem of human trafficking.
And lastly, before I let you go, let's also talk about the methods that the criminal syndicates are using to recruit and exploit children for trafficking in South Africa. What are the methods?
What we've seen, especially with our children, is it's online grooming. So social media is one of our biggest platforms where the grooming of children is happening. They're befriending our children. It starts just with a normal conversation. It goes on to forwarding of photos of sexual messages that are going back and forth. But also, our adults are falling victim to social media scams, for instance, with false job advertisements. Then we've also got our victims that are lured from other countries, or people from our country lured to other countries with false job advertisements with the promise of a better life on the other side. So there's so many grooming methods, but one of our main things that we are seeing is social media, and that's why we urge the public, please look after your children, know what they're busy on social media. If you apply for a job, make sure it's legitimate, do your homework. There are so many people falling victim to this. Please, we need to keep ourselves safe.
Well, Bianca, I must say thank you for taking out the time to join us, and well done with all the work that you are doing, being the coordinator for Missing Children South Africa. Once again, thank you.
Thank you. Pleasure.